Interstellar Terrorism Organization trains the Interstellar Marines under the Nevada desert in a top-secret installation. The training of this has gotten to the point where teams of Marines are pitted against each other using taser weaponry in combat simulations. You will encounter different environments and you'll have to adapt to the given situation as it occurs. This is the main menu. You can toggle settings and you can view the 0-point software tutorials from the top bar. Down the bottom here you can see the poster and Megalodon. These are two non-playable maps. They are not in the multiplayer. As you go through, these are all of the maps that are in the multiplayer. But first we'll go to the sandbox so I can show you the game mechanics. As you can see in the top left hand corner, there is the controls. You can either hold the buttons down or toggle. That's me holding it down, and this is toggling. Holding down the laser and toggling the laser. This is done with the same button, but it just depends on how long you press it for. Raising and lowering the helmet is useful for when your HUD gets disabled from taking a few rounds. This allows you to hear as your sound is impaired by the helmet being disabled. You have the standard move speed and walk. Toggling can be done with shift key. If you're in walking, you can actually hold down the shift and you can do that. There are two modes of crouching. Moving quickly, you still have your head over there. Moving slowly, you duck down a little bit further. Pressing and tapping shift can change it. Also holding down spacebar allows you to duck up just a little bit further. Aiming down your sights also pops you up. Now with jumping, you have to hold down the spacebar to prep yourself. If you notice, the character ducks down a little bit. That's when holding the spacebar. If you just tap it, you're not gonna jump very high. If you hold it for about half a second, maybe even just a little bit less than that, the recoil pattern is a bit more severe than some games. And when you're against an object you can't fire, but if you aim down your sights you can. And as you can see, taser rounds. This is just popping out the cover. You have 30 rounds. And then this is the AR. It has a bit more recoil, but it does about maybe a third more damage than the SMG does. At longer ranges you can down a guy with any kind of weapon with a single headshot. Aiming down the sights, the scope of the AR increases the sensitivity a little bit, so just be wary of that. This takes quite a few rounds to actually down target at range if you're not hitting the head, whereas with the AR, 2 shots to the upper chest, they're down. So the AR is much more inclined to be used at longer ranges, particularly because of its low magazine count and its high damage at range. So raising the HUD, and you can just gauge how different the sound is, at least with your HUD on. When it is off, if you have your visor down, everything is rather muffled. Using cover is very, very strategic, and pre-firing in some cases is going to allow you to get the drop on someone. The blue icons on the character models mean they're friendly. You can see these on the ankles, the chest, the arms and the backpack. Opponents will not have this marking. When firing at friendlies, you'll hear a little warning symbol and you'll see a visual indicator when your HUD is activated, and then your weapon will be disabled for 15 seconds or more if you take down a friendly, whether that is accidental or not. Using your laser and flashlight can be very risky, as it gives away your position very quickly, particularly in dark environments. Only using the flashlight when you're about to fire or when you really need to, and just to find out where you are, is stressed, and using it only for short bursts is recommended. The laser is not really needed unless you're in close confined environments that you are not going to be using your sights whatsoever. Once you know where the centre of your screen is for this game mode, it is suggested that you don't use the laser at all, because it is a solid beam that leads to your target and back to you. Deadlock is an elimination styled game mode where capturing all of the points or eliminating all the opposition is going to guarantee victory. This can change very quickly, as capturing points will bring back fallen teammates. If you are the last person alive, you can also bring back a teammate by neutralizing an opponent. With Deadlock, you can tell who is alive and who has fallen from the scoreboard. It shows both teammates and opposition that have fallen and who is alive. And in the kill feed, it shows you where and who is capturing or neutralizing points. So being careful and knowing that pretty much as soon as you do anything, everyone knows exactly either where you are or whether you're alive or not. Stand a little bit further back, as shown here, you can actually see the point being captured. Moving through here, making sure that you are keeping your view and arcs in the right angle is very, very important, and making sure that you're standing in the right place in the point. So where I am now, very, very open, but if I was crouching down behind that cover, it would be good. Now in this particular part of the map, you can go across this bridge, along the top of it, and underneath these, and end up on the other side. It ends up being quite a good vantage point. But even more so is when this raises. No one can get up to you. This is very, very good as a sniping vantage point, particularly if you stay concealed and just make sure you're popping them with 1 or 2 shots. With the AR at distance, it's quite good, but you are going to have to compensate for the latency, as there is no server rollback. Getting online and just learning the maps is going to be very, very helpful for you. And this is just some gameplay using those techniques. Enjoy.
captured to bring back a team member. You are the last Marine standing. Kill or capture to bring back a team member.